Greetings, fellow bridge lovers, and welcome to this week's It's Your Call. I'm your host, Kai, and today I am joined by the wonderful Brad.
Hi.
Brad is an amazing player from New Zealand, if you couldn't tell from the accent. He has been playing for 12 years, and I actually met Brad in this online group that I've constantly been talking about, and he was one of the OGs in the group. He was one of the very, very first. You're an OG in our online community, right, Brad? Like you
Yeah,
were one of the very first. I remember being in calls with Brad. We would be doing commentary on like big Australian events or just doing commentary, having fun. And Brad would kind of be like one of the voices of reason, although he is very aggressive. And I would be the little kid who has no clue what he's doing, just splattering about bridge stuff because he thinks he can. But one absolutely amazing thing about our online community is we have like this little tab for bridge laws. And as you know, I am a director, albeit a little bit inexperienced. I have any questions, any problems about the laws of bridge, we can just post a little scenario in there, and then Brad will always be one of the very first people to get in there and give his opinion. So he has really, really helped me in some of these difficult situations, figuring out the logic, what he would do. Is there any particular situation or call or any thing that you heard that has like some sort of fun story behind it, or like any type of particular call that you are particularly interested in?
I don't have a single ruling that is a good answer to this question. What I sort of have a minor crusade against, or had at my club for a while, is just the way that nearly all the bridge players don't understand how unauthorized information cases work. It may be as little as people like not understanding the alert regulations because they learnt 50 years ago and the rules change, and they learnt them and they're still applying the same rules that they played back then. Or there's slightly more nebulous or dubious actions that are going on, but lots of people just don't understand, and any attempt to try and like talk about these at the table often get people think you're accusing them of cheating, which
Mm,
makes it them very sensitive and charged discussions and therefore rulings. Whenever there's a UI case, someone is typically always very abrasive and defensive, and it's hard to cut to the truth of the matter.
right.
That's one of the reasons I said that there's a lot of like questions from the online community. I like being able to address those because they're typically after the fact and you're like removed from the emotional, was it charging of the situation?
Mm-hmm.
So you can just like sort of try and clinically apply the facts, because once you see the same case and again, you sort of like the sorts of laws you should be thinking about and what ones you should be applying.
Mm-hmm.
And it's only like the first time you see it at the table in person that you're sort of panicking about, oh, is it this one or this one? I don't know what to do. The people sense that and like they just like lose confidence in you. But it's just trying to massage people's opinions of these rules is something that I'm like sort of trying to shift over the years.
Oh,
But
for
it's
sure. Yeah.
that's definitely a hard one. But anytime you see someone just understand why what they did was it how it should be anymore, that's always the big win for me, and that's the real reason I like directing.
Wonderful. All right. I'm going to get us into this bidding problem, Brad. Are you ready?
Totally ready.
All right, let's do this. So, here's your hand. This is imps, and you are not vulnerable. They are vulnerable. You are the south hand here. And we start off with your partner opening one diamond, and
Ooh.
then east overcalls two clubs, and it is your call.
Ooh, this is an exciting hand
Oh,
because
yes.
as soon as I picked it up, I was like a good 6-4 with playing strength. This might be a game hand easily. Partner opened and it wasn't even a weak bid, so it was potentially slam alert.
Mm-hmm.
And now they've bid my side suit, and they are vulnerable and we are not. So I just like the basic facts of like I have 12 high card points and a very good 6-card major. It's not at all unreasonable to imagine that we could be making at least 4 hearts at this point. The only sort of like fly in the ointment with that idea is I have a singleton diamond, which is partner's open suit, and I also have ace 10 fourth club sitting over a vulnerable overcall. There's every chance that things will be breaking badly and either 4 hearts is going down or 2 clubs is going to be if I can pass two clubs and have it go pass, pass, double, pass, 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 then there's a chance that I'll be getting more from defending two clubs than I would be from declaring in hearts, even if four hearts does make.
Mm-hmm.
However, my main concern with trying to pass on this hand is I also have a doubleton low spade, and it might be that even if partner manages to make a reopening double of two clubs, and I do decide to pass it, that West might well run to their five or six low spades sort of thing, and
Mm,
I don't know how good we'll go on defense to that one.
right.
And I would be completely guessing if I passed two clubs doubled and it goes like two spades pass pass or two spades double pass to me. What I do not have the hand partner would expect me to have for trapping clubs,
Right.
so they might be trying to penalize spades on awkward hands too.
Right.
They're all up. I think that leans me towards bidding two hearts on this hand
Mm-hmm.
because that's forcing for a round. I'll learn more information. Best case scenario is that my left-hand opponent might like raise clubs or something, or partner might jump in support of hearts, and we might still get to something fun.
Yeah, certainly. And this other scenario that you were going down with doing a trap pass of the two clubs is, like you said, you have this idea like even if partner does make this double and at some point you pass the double, they run to two spades. The big thing here that you really mentioned was that partner is never going to be expecting you to have this hand. So even after, when you haven't shown anything about your hand whatsoever except that you want to pass clubs, when you bid hearts, partner's just going to be kind of lost. They have no clue that you have a six card heart suit and that your club suit could only be four. So I really wanted to emphasize that this kind of really misconstrues your hand. Partner's never going to pin you for this hand when you do this kind of pass. Um,
If I did have that auction,
mm-hmm.
I would probably bid four hearts instead of three
Good
hearts,
point.
just because I haven't yet emphasized that I have such a good heart suit.
Right.
But like
Okay.
partner didn't double spades, so they probably have some amount of heart support, and that some amount is probably all I need.
Right. So we went down a real deep dive here. It's like if we pass and then partner doubles and then they bid two spades and now we bid four hearts. So that's a very deep dive, but it's a very interesting deep dive. So going back to what our ultimate decision was initially here, we have decided that you would appreciate a two hearts bid being forcing, starting to show your heart suit. It then goes three spades from west, and your partner bids four diamonds, pass from east, and now it is your call.
This is a really awkward bidding problem.
It
I
is.
appreciate that you saved it for me.
It's just for you, Brad.
So two hearts from us was forcing for a round, but it wasn't necessarily game forcing in
Right.
sort of like standard when there's an overcall. That being said, partner like freely took an action at the four level, so that should show extra values and that we are sort of committed to game. Trying
Yes.
to stop on the dime and make exactly 10 tricks in diamonds when you might have hands like this that are pretty awkward to show is a bit of a losing proposition.
Hmm.
And partners four diamond bid shows typically a really good diamond suit because they could have passed or doubled or queued one of their suits or done anything. So
Hmm.
partners showing really good strong directional diamonds. I wouldn't be surprised if they had either a seven card suit of similar quality or potentially even a longer suit. Some of this comes into what hands partner would open at the one level, just the general style things. If they're opening one diamond with ace, king, queen to eight and out or something, they might bid this way. Obviously, other people would do something like open three no trumps or just wait around or open a preempt or something. This hand is a bit awkward because you also have mild extra values on the hand and you've got sharp cards like the club sitting over the person
Right.
with no spade values yourself. Any spade values held by your side will be in partner's hand and therefore like sitting over the spades as well. It feels like bidding something like four hearts, which should be passable, is a bit of an underbid here,
Right.
that you don't really have any convenient other bids to make. If I could, I would bid four and a half diamonds
I love
in,
that.
in order to say, just like choice of strains. I can play four hearts. If you really love diamonds, I can help you in diamonds, sort of thing.
Hmm.
And you choose. Like I would just tell North it was their bid again and see if I got any more information. that this is the real world and we don't get those sorts of things.
Right.
I do have 6 decent hearts. It seems like it should be playable opposite like a singleton some of the time. So to me, this feels like you just close your eyes and bid 4 hearts, and you fully acknowledge that some of the time, like the opponents might have done well to make this auction hard for you, both
Mm-hmm.
overcalling and preempting in a different suit. So they've taken away all of your convenient forcing bids. Now you have to guess at an awkward level. If 4 hearts is low, then I'm hoping that the distribution of the black suits is bad enough that we don't make anything higher.
Okay.
And maybe partner can kick.
Yeah, exactly. So you bid 4 hearts, and it goes pass from west, and your partner bids 4 no trump 1430.
Ooh,
Ooh!
sorry, that I got excited. I was just salivating at the prospect of Slam Alert.
Slam alert, slam
Um,
alert.
Yeah, so this one isn't a problem. This is just you show your number of key cards, and
Yes.
you said 1430. So I have ace, king of hearts, and the ace of clubs, and hearts should be trumps on this auction. So I bid 5 diamonds to show 3.
Yep, goes pass. And your partner then asks you, do you have the queen?
Aha. So in this auction, sorry, there are times where I think it's right to show the queen when you don't have it. That's typically when you have exceptional extra length than what's required, what's already been shown. You bid 4 hearts, which should show sort of like a really good suit, like the one you have, and therefore I don't think there's any real reason to lie about having the queen.
Mm-hmm.
There's like one minor reason you might want to consider it, being that of your 2 opponents, one of them made like a vulnerable 2-level constructive overcall, and one of them made a jump in a different suit.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Charlie is interested in joining
Oh,
the
hello,
bidding problem.
Charlie. Would
Yeah,
would you have bid
Charlie, what
four
would
hearts
you do?
here?
Yeah.
It's your call, buddy. Oh my gosh, Charlie is so adorable.
Yeah. Sorry for derailing that, but
No.
who can't, what is it, agree about how cute their dog is on the internet?
Well,
Uh,
I completely agree. Actually, I think that we had Ewan. This is the second time a pet has been featured on the It's Your Call, and the funniest thing is that that is the one with the most views. It has 1,000 views, which is like 5 times any other because I think there was a cat in the thumbnail. So Charlie is definitely going to be making it onto the video.
so just re-picking up my train of thought,
Right.
if I had to put money on which of the opponents I think holds the Queen of Hearts, I think it would be East maybe 8 times out of 10 sort of
Right.
thing. So I think that it wouldn't be super unreasonable if people did want to show that they had the queen with ace, king, jack sitting over the opponent's values.
Hmm.
But when suits are potentially breaking quite poorly, I think that here partner asked me a question, I'm going to sort of take it at face value that partner knows what they're doing, because they might be doing something like sitting on an absolutely solid diamond suit and wanting to know if the hearts run to bid like 6 or 7 no trumps sort of thing.
Right.
Like I'm not the boss of this hand,
Hmm.
so I'm going to just show my hand, and therefore like this is a conventional agreement of what people do to sign off. For me, I would be bidding 6 hearts,
Right.
but I know some people play like the first step denies or whatever. So
Hmm.
I would make whatever my systemic bid is.
Yeah, so 6 hearts just saying, I don't have the queen. And on that point where you were saying that you might consider showing the queen because most of the time the queen of hearts is going to be on side, that also could be an inference that your partner makes as well, because they have the information for that inference as well, because now you know, now partner knows that you don't have the queen, and they don't have the queen because why else would they be asking for the queen? So they have all the information to make that inference themselves. And that might have even gone into their considerations when bidding for no trump is that if we're missing any heart honors, they're very likely on side, or if we're missing honors, they're likely on side. I completely agree with the 6 heart speed, and it goes pass, pass, and you don't get doubled, although that would be exciting. So, partner's hand. And partner also has bidding dilemmas, and I'm really excited to hear what you have to say, what you would do with partner's hand. Partner's hand is ace doubleton of spades, 3 small hearts, ace king jack seventh of diamonds, and singleton club.
Yeah, like before, what is it? If you'd asked me to put partner on a hand for this auction, I was probably going to say a sort of something like 2272 or
Right,
whatever with 10-9 doubleton heart. Seems like and good diamonds and the spade control seems about good.
right.
It's obviously a little bit cramped because I'd either need to be giving them a club honor or partner would have bid key card without a club control, which is typically not something you should do.
Hmm.
So I think that the actual hand of like the 2371 is a much more likely candidate hand for the auction.
Okay, interesting. And that one of my main questions that I wanted to ask you on this one is if you had the North Hand in this scenario, going back to this point, the first thing that would pop into my head would be bidding four hearts just to confirm that we have a heart fit here. But I also see the argument for wanting to bid four diamonds to possibly keep a diamond slam in the picture. Which one do you think you would have landed on with the North Hand?
I think that like both are defensible, but I would probably do neither. Especially if I don't have any good agreements with my partner, sort of thing. I
Hmm.
might throw out a four club bid, which would be slightly nebulous. Established partnerships might well say that this is how you show a good raise to four hearts, and bidding four hearts itself is just like more of a competitive bid or
Right.
whatever. Although the theory is that shouldn't be like super competitive, like just a complete minimum hand because partner hadn't made a game force yet. And just because the opponents have bounced during the auction doesn't mean you necessarily should be bidding over them.
Right.
So, like, partner could pass three spades with a minimum and a heart fit. Therefore, if partner does support hearts, they are nominally showing some amount of extras anyway.
Right. And either way,
Um,
after the four clubs, you would be making it to six hearts because North has shown a very strong hand, and probably it does make sense that this would be showing tolerance at least for hearts. So at this point, it would probably continue on, if not through control bidding, through just going to keycard ask and continuing on, I would presume.
yeah, I think I would imagine this auction would go four hearts from south, sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then I could see North bidding four spades as just a sort of generic grunt, just
Like last
cubid.
train.
Yeah, they
Like,
don't really want to just go like charging into slam
mm-hmm.
sort of thing. And the south hand sort of it doesn't look slam unsuitable. Like partners sort of making some vague slam tries when we don't have good methods, and I have a good six card suit and three key cards.
Mm-hmm.
So these are all good things. You could see this hand either bidding four no trumps or bidding five clubs.
Right.
Of the two, I would prefer a five club cubid,
Mm-hmm.
mostly because if I asked for key cards and heard that we had sort of two key cards, or partner has two key cards, I have no idea whether this is like a six hand or a seven hand.
Right.
And depending on partner's exact response, I might not have a way to politely inform them that I'm sort of just wanting more, that we're good to go, but I don't know what level we're going to.
So, what actually happened on the hand, I was kerfuffled. I was lost after the four diamonds bid. And I'm just like, how dare this happen to me? Why do we always have to be in misfits?
Yeah.
I was thinking that partner certainly would have made, if they had hearts, they would have either bid four hearts or they would have done something forcing with hearts. And I was afraid that my heart suit quality was not enough to maintain itself. So I kind of took four hearts out of the picture for myself because I could just be sending us to a grave with a bad split in hearts and not being able to rough the clubs and all these things. So I set my mind on that we were going to be playing somewhere in diamonds, and since it was a misfit, I just decided, and we were playing imps, I'm just like, I'm just going to bid five diamonds because partner suit has probably, to bid four diamonds like he has, probably has a much better suit quality than mine, and it probably is the right place to be. I didn't really consider going on much more after North's bid, but I did have a little bit of a flaw in not considering that partner could still have a good enough hearts, and partner can still like make a decision over four hearts on where they would want to be. Five diamonds is where we ended up, and it went down one because we have a 4-1 diamond split and the queen of diamonds offside. It's not a pleasant spot to be, but six hearts does make because you have the 2-2 heart split. And of course, as we said, the Queen of Hearts is on side, and you have enough entries to rough out the diamonds so that you can set up the diamond suit and throw away the rest of your clubs. It works out great if you're in 6 hearts, not so great if you're playing in 5 diamonds. But you made it to the right spot. Congratulations, Brad. If I don't know if I think everyone wins It's Your Call in the end, but you certainly won It's Your Call this time.
I mean, this is something I laugh a bit about this being the hand chosen for me. I said earlier, spoilers, that I'm also active in the online bridge community thing, and one thing I'm sort of known for on that scene is bidding lots of so-called Brad slams.
Brad slams.
Um, yeah, I'm much more likely to be in 6 hearts one off than 4 hearts +2 or 4 hearts +1 on a board.
Right.
So any whiff of an oily rag sort of thing, I have quite a good hair trigger on actually just committing to these sorts of things.
Mm-hmm.
And there was obviously on this hand, there was lots of danger about sort of misfits and bad breaks. I was talking about some of those when I was considering what to do back over the 2 club bid initially. But I think the inference that partner didn't look to penalize spades sort of thing, like they bid 4 diamonds, to me, this is on the auction, that's quite strongly implying that they're not worried about spades or clubs necessarily, because if they were worried about them, then you might also be worried and they don't want to be declaring.
Mm-hmm.
So therefore, it sort of sounds like the 4 diamond bid has some idea of how they're handling their black suit losers,
Right.
and therefore it's more likely that they will have some tolerance for hearts, if not a direct fit.
Gotcha. Well, I can't read into bids all that much yet, so I have a lot to learn, and thank you for your opinion on this hand. And of course, I now lead it off to all of our viewers. What would you have done on this hand? Would you have considered the line with the trap pass on passing 2 clubs? Would you have bid 2 hearts? And how would you have handled bidding over this 4 diamonds bid from north? And furthermore, what would you have done with the north hand after the 3 spades bid? Let us know all of your thoughts in the comments down below. We very much appreciate it. And while you're there, while you're down below, you can also hit the like button and subscribe to the ACBL YouTube channel so that you can be notified whenever we post, so that we can keep Bridge getting out into the algorithm and, making Bridge a bigger game. All right, Brad, thank you so much for your time. All your thoughts were extremely insightful. And I will see you in the Bridge Laws and watch and continue to laugh at all of your Brad slams. Once again, thank you, and I will see you again soon.
No worries. See you around.
See ya. Bye.